Welcome to Catnips. I'm your host, Kat, and this show explores food and culture while highlighting local LA restaurants. I come from a multicultural background. My father is Jewish and my mother's Chinese. Food was at the center of our family and our experiences. Some of my favorite memories are trying new foods with friends and family. I really hope to encourage others to try different cuisines while helping out local restaurant owners. You can learn a lot about another culture through their food, and there's a lot to explore. Today, my guest is Joanna Sotomura. She is an amazing actress who was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. She is known for her work on The Good Place, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and Hawaii Five-0. Joanna, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I know I said this earlier, but I'm legitimately so excited. I got a lot of food, so I'm really excited. And this is awesome. Yay.
Yay. So as I said before, this show is about exploring the relationship between food and culture. I myself come from a Chinese and Jewish culture where pretty much food was the center of everything. Joanna, can I ask you what your cultural background is?
Yes, I am Hapa as well. So I'm Japanese and German, but I also just took a 23andMe. So we'll see how the results come back in a couple weeks. We'll see what's up.
So you're Japanese and German, but you were born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii?
Yep, born and raised, moved out here after high school when I was 18, and I actually just booked tickets to go back home in a month or so I can visit my grandma again. I haven't been home in like 2 years, so I'm so excited.
So we decided to try Broken Mouth Restaurant because it's a Hawaiian restaurant in here in LA. Their menu looked incredible. And when I went to pick up my food, Chef Lee was the one that gave it to me. He just talked about how he's been there for 3 years and how he really just wanted to cook home cooking that made him feel good. From their website, they talk about the name Broken Mouth and how Hawaii uses it as a phrase, broke de mouth.
Yeah.
Which is like really food so good one hardly has time to chew, which is just amazing. And that he is Korean by blood, but also was raised in Hawaii. So I'm going to read this because I think it's so amazing. Please. But on their website, it says, "Our guests dining with us are invited to catch a glimpse into our home with the belief that food is a universal language breaking boundaries across all cultures." Which I just love so much. Like, that's truly the reason why I'm doing this. Because also I really noticed that a lot of my friends in the pandemic, especially those that are living more in suburban areas, are feeling a little bit more like, oh, for takeout, I just go to TGI Fridays, or I go to Ruby Tuesdays, or I just go to my comfort, which is fine. But I've noticed a lot of my friends are a little bit nervous to try a different cuisine, or they don't know. They look at the menu, they have no idea what it's going to taste like. They don't know if they're ordering the right thing or not. And so I just really hope that a show like this can help people be a little bit more adventurous.
Totally. And I love the idea too of supporting smaller businesses, because even around in Hollywood too, some of our favorite go-to restaurants, our little mom and pop ones, have shut down. So if we can support the little ones in any way, please, let's do it.
Let's get right down to it of what we ordered. Let's see. We both ordered plate lunches, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna open up my food. I'm gonna see if I can actually do this number.
Yes. Nice. You got the shrimp.
I got the shrimp with their rice and their potato salad, which everyone says is phenomenal. And I also got their cucumber kimchi. And I was telling him about how I love his bread pudding. So he gave
that's nice. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What did you get?
So, okay, I got a plate lunch as well, and I split half with my husband and half with me. So we got the chicken katsu. I also got the shrimp, the mac salad, the rice, and then I got a spam musubi. Oh, this is a must. The Hawaiian sun drink. This is high currency in elementary school.
Yes, amazing. Okay, I got it too. Hold on. Yeah. I got the same one.
Yeah, this is good. And then I couldn't wait, but I also got the kimchi too, but I ate it. I just wanted one, and then before you know it, I was like, oh shoot, I ate the whole thing. But I got that too. So
awesome. Really so talk about the kimchi. How was that?
It was great. It held up well throughout delivery. Just the right amount of spice. Still has like a crunch to it. it was a dream. And I tried to save a little bit for the presentation, but then I just ate the rest.
We're just gonna eat and talk.
Yes.
Wow, this is so good. The kimchi's really, really good. Oh, food just makes me so happy.
Me too.
What role did food have in your family?
Food was huge in my family. My dad he should have been a chef. He was a really, really good cook. So he just loved to experiment with all sorts of things. Yeah, we're just big eaters. We'd always have people over to the house for potluck dinners and barbecues and things like that. Or we'd go have barbecues over at the beach and parks. And I love food. I absolutely love it.
Same for me. Like, I mean, food equaled family pretty much. Yeah. Like any event, anything to celebrate, it was always kind of based on food, or like, oh, there's a celebration. What are we eating? So this is their purple rice. Do you know about purple rice? Because I don't think I actually do.
I don't either. I don't know, but I know the furikake on top of it because I have some here too, just like the rice seasoning.
I love it.
Yeah,
so good.
Like meat and sesame. Yeah, so I know that, but I don't think I've really had purple rice before.
Yeah, and it's almost like the consistency of sticky rice.
But yeah, you have to have rice with your plate lunch. You have to have rice and mac salad, which is just a must.
And I really love the different spices. I think that's also something. And I don't know if it's just a Hawaiian culture or honestly Asian cultures as well, but I feel like you need to have different spices on each item of the plate versus it all kind of tasting the same.
Definitely a very spice flavor heavy culture, and especially a lot of seafood flavorings.
Do you have a favorite Hawaiian dish?
I do. I have there's so many, and one of the things I love too about Hawaii food is it's just such a blend of all different kinds of cultures, and it's not really competing flavors. It's all complementary, and they make these like really awesome dishes. But I love lau lau, which is basically really fatty pork and fatty fish wrapped in a tea leaf, steamed, and it's so decadent and so rich. And then for dessert, they have these things called malasadas. So they're basically like Hawaiian beignets is the closest thing.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just coated in sugar. And Leonard's by my high school has the best malasadas. And it's just, I already made a list of all the foods that I want to go eat when I'm back home. So I'm like, yeah, I'm really excited.
So far, I've just had the rice at the mac salad, but just that is so good. Gotta have this, which I'm really excited about. So why was this great currency during your high school?
This is very high currency on the playground. Because it's basically sugar water and it's amazing and you can do no wrong. But they have all kinds of different flavors, all kinds of different colors. So I remember these based on the colors and I don't remember the names of them. So I remember.
So you remember like purple.
Yeah, purple's really good. Orange is a classic, obviously. And the black one was the fancy one because it was like passion something craziness. So those were the good ones. Oh, and yellow was good too.
Yeah, I mean it's just like yummy fruit sugar water.
I haven't had this in so long. This just took me back to like going on field trips.
I love that. That's also what I love about food. I love that food equals memory so much.
Yeah, we need that now more than ever. Good memories.
I know. Is there importance of cultural pride in your food?
Like totally. And I love this question too because like one of the great things about Hawaii is that it's normally what is the minority in the US is the majority in Hawaii. And that just translates to everything from like our entertainment to our clothing to especially our foods. And so there's immense pride in anytime I get to take someone to one of our local restaurants or show them Hawaiian food and they love it because it's just such an awesome representation of the island.
When you're sharing your food with people, like, what you grew up with, or like you said, just like the feeling of not only pride, but like, I want to share this with you so that you can enjoy it, so that you can feel what I feel, so that you understand this taste, you understand a little bit of our history. I almost think that's a great way to like learn about another culture. It's through their food.
Absolutely. And also just through the means of sitting down together, and which I so miss family gatherings, but sitting down and sharing a meal, it's just love.
Yeah. And then also like you learn so much about people when you eat with them too, because, and I am so, this is also something that I'm missing so much at this time, but you know, is to be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. You should try some, right? Like, oh, let me have a little bit of this, right? Like just like the being of like, you're truly in the moment with someone when you're like taking a forkful off their plate, right? Like,
and it's just a crazy thing in general that I don't know if we'll be able to do again. Just like sharing forks and foods and things with, I mean, I'm excited for the day when we can do that. Because that's so nice to be able to order a bunch of different things and try them all.
Okay, I'm gonna try this shrimp. What's fun about it is that Chef Lee was like, the skin is still on these shrimp because I like to eat it with the skin on. But he was like, they're cut down the middle in case you don't want to eat it. So I've never tried, I don't think, shrimp with the skin on. So I'm gonna just be brave and do it.
I say go for it. I'm very excited too. My husband did the same thing. He ate this and was like, I think there's still shell. And I was like, well, then just eat it. It's deep fried. You're fine.
I must say, the garlicky, buttery goodness of this, I cannot handle.
It is so good. And there's definitely, like, I think probably, was Chef Lee? Some sort of signature spice, because it's amazing. It's really good. And I bet people also maybe order the shrimp too, and a lot of like these plate lunches, because it kind of takes you on a mini vacation. Like
it really does.
You can be like part of, in like a little island paradise all on your own. So like this was a classic staple for like, I think in the mainland people would eat like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, like a ham sandwich for school. This is basically that.
And you can tell everyone what it is?
Yes, so this is a spam musubi. It's like the sandwich, the go-to bread and butter sandwich back in Hawaii. It's so good. It's so simple. I mean, I haven't tasted this one yet, but you can't go wrong. It's soy, seaweed, and spam and rice, and it's just the best. But yeah, so I never got really made fun of, and that was kind of the norm. But it was more so when I came to the mainland and would suggest like we go to Hawaiian places or Japanese places, and my friends at the time were like, no, I just kind of want to go to TGI Fridays or something. Like, why? There's so much great food over here that you're missing out on. Yeah,
and I do think that there is, I don't want to use fear because I do think that's a really harsh word, but it's just the unknown, you know?
Yeah.
And they feel a little strange, I think, about trying something new, about spending their money on something new that they might not like. I think that's another big thing, which I will say about Broken Mouth. If you try like 5 of their sides, everything was like $5 or less. Like this huge cucumber kimchi was like $3.25.
I cannot wait to visit this place when we can all actually like go inside the restaurant too.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what I think another thing is too with maybe not fear, but just people being uncomfortable with ordering outside of the box. I think growing up in Hawaii, you are introduced to a lot of complex flavors as a kid. So you grow up really liking fish or the seasoning. Because I love them, but one of my brother-in-laws who grew up in Idaho, I gave him some Hawaiian stuff once, and he just could not take it. Basically, like this rice, and
because it has like the seasoning and umami and stuff.
Yes, yeah. He's like, it's so crazy. I'm like, it's really not, man. But yeah, so that's been a really cool thing, is just to explore different flavors and stuff, because you grew up appreciating them.
I completely agree. My parents, so my mom is Chinese, my dad's Jewish, and they love food, right? They just love food. They love exploring food. And I remember asking them like, hey, was I ever a picky eater? Or like, how did you deal with me? And they were like, no. And they were like, we kind of did it on purpose because we didn't give you baby food. We would just take 1/4 of a cup of whatever we were eating, Indian, Chinese, anything. And we put it in the blender with formula and just like, blend it to like nothing. And that's your baby food every night. So they
That's
were
really
like, so they were
cool.
like, by the time you were like one, you like already had like Indian spices and like Chinese spices, and like you had already had that experience. I just felt like I already knew those spices growing up.
And they're comforting now. Now they're like home spices.
So is this right now what we're eating? Is this like comfort food to you?
This feels like grown-up comfort food.
Yeah.
It's definitely like we would just go to the cheapy places back home during like between lunch breaks or at lunch in high school and get like whatever. But so this tastes like that, but to the next level. I should try this one out.
Definitely.
Spam with me. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
This flavor, the spam, and this is like recess in sixth grade.
Yes, I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, I love it so much. Do we know why spam is so popular in a lot of Hawaiian dishes?
You know, I know a big part of it was from World War II. It was just the canned meat that was available. And so a lot of different homes would just use it in their traditional dishes, then like alternate it or use the alternative meat spam.
I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. I think you can get it at McDonald's.
Really?
I think so. I think they have like one of their like breakfasts that they have. It's rice, eggs, and like Portuguese sausage, or I think spam.
Yes, I saw that Broken Mouth had the Portuguese sausage for like a brunch plate.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, I'll definitely need to try that next time. So if somebody does want to go to Broken Mouth and just like try and, is maybe nervous, would you suggest something for them to try first?
Maybe I'm totally biased, but I think the spam recipe is pretty awesome and basic. And a lot of people are so turned off by spam. I get it. It's like kind of weird meat, but it's just so good and easygoing. If you can eat a bologna sandwich, I think you can eat a spam recipe. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm going to do this one more time for the people. This shrimp is so buttery and goodness. I love the rice with the seasoning on top, and it's kind of a sticky rice situation. And then this potato salad is just something else. I can't even explain it. It's like,
it's that also, the potato mac salad is like a huge staple. So much so that for our rehearsal lunch that we had before our wedding, we went to a place that was kind of Hawaiian food and we asked if they'd make that, and they did, and it was awesome.
I'm trying to think of what a middle American would kind of think Hawaiian food is. Has someone ever like gotten it wrong with you, or like?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they think it's all luau's, like it's a pig on a spit with an apple in its mouth, which we don't do. You bury it in the ground.
Pineapple frozen drink with an umbrella.
Yeah, with a bunch of little umbrellas and stuff. And really, it's just like mom and pop hole in the wall shops that make just good, basic comfort food like this.
Are there any Hawaiian desserts that you love?
Oh yeah, I mean, those malasadas are those really good. Those little beignet ones, right? And then it's not really Hawaiian, but I just love the egg tarts. And then a big one that a lot of people back home like, but I just eat it with a bunch of sugar is poi. But then there's like poi mochi. Oh, mochi too is really, really good. But all this is like fusion stuff from lots of different cultures, which is now kind of Hawaiian. So, but yeah, the malasadas are an absolute must.
Before we kind of end, I am going to try their bread pudding.
Oh yes, let me know how that is.
Yeah, so as you can see, it has granola on top.
Oh.
Yes, and there's also cranberries in it, and it's still warm, which is crazy because I just drove like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh my God. It's so good.
Yay! That's awesome. Was that like their signature dessert that they
Yes, it is their signature dessert. It is so cinnamony, and it almost tastes like there's apples in it, but I don't think there are. I think it's just like cranberries and granola, and you can just see. I don't wonder what kind of bread it is, but it's like so doughy.
I bet it's like King's Hawaiian bread, maybe.
Yes, I bet it is too.
I mean, it's also classic for any French toast, any bread pudding, any breakfast.
Yeah, it truly tastes like French toast soaked in syrup.
Oh, nice.
with granola and like these like very sweet cranberries. So
Ooh.
wow, I did not know if that was going to transfer well, and it really does. I'm excited to like put that in the microwave with some vanilla ice cream on top. This has been so amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Joanna, is there anything you would like to plug or have people follow you? Please let them know how to keep up with you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I truly, genuinely was so looking forward to today. This is awesome. Yeah, and then you can just follow me. All of my social media is just at Joanna Sotomura. It's mostly just Instagram and occasionally like a really dumb TikTok. So,
and if you are curious about all the food that we tried today, please go, if you're in the LA area, please go to Broken Mouth. Their website is eatbrokenmouth.com. Hopefully it will be somewhere down here. And also check out their food on Instagram, which is also instagram.com/eatbrokenmouth. They have delivery on Postmates. You can also use some of their platforms to pick up curbside, which is what I did today, which is really easy and wonderful. Now more than ever, it's so important for us to support local restaurants. And so please try a new cuisine. Don't be scared. This was so amazing, and it's by, a local chef, and try it out, especially with these prices.
absolutely. And I definitely approve this restaurant. It is awesome.
Yeah, this was an amazing. I'm so happy we got to taste all of this. And I'm so happy that this gave you a little slice of home.
I knew this was gonna be good, but I really do feel like I'm back on the playgrounds back home. This is awesome. This is so cool.
Yay. Thank you so much, Joanna.
Thank you.